to Year 1. I just want to say the children have settled really, really well this week. I've been so impressed. They're adapting really quickly to all the new routines and really impressing me with what they know already and their attitude to learning. So you should feel really proud of them. I'm just going to go through a few things that are going to be new for you for Year 1. The first thing is to introduce the adults who are going to be working with your children. So I'm Mrs. Cheshire, and we have Mrs. Young, and sometimes on a Friday we'll have Mrs. Hodge as well, who the children are already familiar with from lunchtimes. So our timetable, as the children come in the morning, they're going to be doing busy fingers, which are similar activities to the ones that they would have done before in reception. That will stop at 8:55, and then home time is at 3:10. Our PE sessions are on a Monday and a Friday, so if you could please ensure that your child has a complete PE kit every Monday, and then we will send it home on a Friday for it to be washed, and then please ensure it comes back again on the Monday. So our school day in Year 1 depends very much on when in the year we are. It changes frequently throughout the year. So in the beginning, at the moment, we're doing a lot of similar things that the children would have done in reception. So there's busy fingers, there'll be lots of adult support, there'll be lots of group work. As the time goes on, the children will slowly transition to work more independently and then eventually work as a whole class, but we will support them with that transition. And as I said before, I'm already very impressed with how independent the children have been and how adaptable they've been. So, reading. Shortly, next week, your child will bring home 2 reading books to read at home with. We aim to change their books once a week. I will have different groups of children that I will read with on different days, and those children in that group will change their books on that day. So some children will change their books on a Monday, some it might not be until Friday, but every child will change their books at least once a week. We are also going to be sending home a paper reading record this year. Normally they would have the reading record books, but this year things are a little bit different. So on a Monday we will send home a blank sheet with the days of the week on it. If you could please listen to your child read every day and just note down what they've read, how they found it, any questions that you might have discussed, and then if you can return that the following Monday so we can keep a record and tally up how many times they've read to work towards their reading certificates. So reading should be fun and enjoyable. Little and often works best. Please don't make your child read for half an hour a day. It's 5-10 minutes every day is much more effective than 30 minutes once a week. So please make it fun and enjoyable. The children may not know all the words straight away. It can be a joint thing. You can read some words, they can read some words, do it a page at a time. You can support your child to decode the words, so sounding it out, and make it more of a team effort if your child is struggling. We recommend that you read each book 3 times. This will help the children to develop their fluency skills. So if on the first read there is a particular word that they don't know or they're finding tricky, by the 3rd time they've read that book, they should have banked that word and be able to read it a lot quicker. So that's the reason for that. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to be sending home very soon are our high frequency bookmarks. In Year 1 there is a list of words that we would expect the children to be able to read on sight, so without sounding out, and then eventually spell as well. These are called our high frequency words. They are words that the children are going to come across very often. So what we are currently doing is assessing which words your child knows and which words they don't. And then we will be sending home a bookmark with a majority of words that your child cannot yet read on sight. We will be assessing them again weekly in school, but if you could practice these at home, so maybe when you get your book out and you read your book, if they can practice reading through a couple of those words on the bookmark as well. When your child can read all of those words, we will again assess them, and then we will give them the next bookmark to go home, and this will continue until they have learned all of their high frequency words. Okay, so homework. At the moment, while the children are still settling into year one and are still very young, the only home learning that I will be asking you to do is to read daily with the children at home and practice their high frequency words. Once the children are settled and ready, and I feel it would be beneficial to their learning, we will then start setting homework and eventually spellings, which at the moment I believe will go onto their OneNote pages so you can access electronically. So, phonics. We use a program called Letters and Sounds. This website is really useful just to go and have a look, because the phonemes, the sounds, have changed a lot since I was at school. They're completely different, and it would be very worthwhile just double checking that when you are supporting your children with their sound and their readings, that you are also articulating them correctly, because we don't want to be teaching them different things in school and at home. So have a look on here, because some of them are very different. And that way you can support your child at home. So in year one, in June, the children will go through a phonics screening check. That's just to check that they have learned all the sounds that they need to know before year two. It isn't anything to worry about. It's not like SATs. It's really fun. It's done one-to-one. With me, and they get a special book that they look through. The children really enjoyed it when I've done it with them before, so it's not anything to be stressed or worried about. It's just so that we can make sure that they've got all of their sounds. Okay, so spellings, as I've mentioned before, mainly it's the high frequency words that we're going to focus on, but as the year progresses we will start looking at spelling patterns and rules. And as I said, the children will start taking home spellings to learn, which they will then be tested on a weekly basis. But this will only happen once the children are settled and ready for it. So, some other things to remember. Water bottles. Please make sure that your children have their water bottles every day and that they're clearly labelled. We don't have cups in the classroom that we can give the children for drinks at this time, so a water bottle is really important. This is really important because children do lose things, they do leave them lying around, and if your child has their name in everything, it's going to be very, very quickly returned to their rightful owner. If the names are not in them, it's going to be much harder for you to get them back. If for whatever reason somebody different is coming to collect your child at the end of the day, please just let us know. It's really important that we know this, obviously, because we're not going to let the children go home with anybody that we are unaware of, and we will then have to make phone calls to make sure that this is the arrangement and it is okay, which obviously takes time. So just a little phone call to the office or a note just to let us know if pick-up arrangements change. If your child is ill, obviously at the moment with any COVID symptoms, if you notify the office, otherwise just let us know. We can keep an eye on them. If things get worse, we can contact you and let you know. If you have any messages for us, anything that you feel that we need to know, again, if you email the office, put a little note.